Hi, and welcome everybody, and thanks for having me. So today it's going to be about our company called Alaiko, and what we do is we really enable seamless collaboration in e-commerce. I'm not going to bore you with like the super standard company presentation now, because very, very exciting things have been happening to us over the past couple of, I would say, 6 to 12 months. Because we originally founded the company to be very, very, very involved in operational processes. Even though we have been heavily investing into software ever since founding, so the company is now 3.5 years old, half a year ago, we made the decision to go full software. And that journey is something I want to speak about today, as I really think it's a very exciting opportunity. Couple of words about myself and my co-founder. So Gabriel and me, we go way back. It's the 4th company that we're building and scaling together. First one was under the umbrella of Rocket Internet back in the times where that was interesting. And then we really went from digital therapeutics, so once building our own pure software company before, scaling that up until Series C, into something that was completely different, because with Curing Shot, we founded our own e-commerce business. With that company, we are selling ginger shots, so small 60 milliliter bottles, extremely spicy, and we've been on the merchant side for quite some time. Really have undergone all the problems that an e-commerce shop has to face. So do I do logistics in-house? Do I outsource it? Which shop system do I use? Which ERP system do I use? And building up on that, we came up with the idea of Alaiko, as I said, 3.5 years ago. So we officially founded the company in April 2020 with the following idea. So we wanted to be the largest fulfillment platform in Europe. And that basically means for the past 3.5 years, we have been selling directly to e-commerce shops. And we have been selling them 2 things. First part, which I'll talk more about, is software. And the second part has been fulfillment. So we have been aggregating fulfillment on a platform, have been selling directly to e-commerce shops, and had fulfillment providers in the back that were doing the operations for us. So Alaiko, ever since founding, has been asset light. We have been operating on 0 CapEx, and it has taught us a lot, especially about how the different players in the e-commerce ecosystem interact with each other. As I said during my introduction, the future of Alaiko is now purely software-based, and we have been building this for the past 3.5 years for our own ecosystem, and are now taking it out into the world of third-party logistic providers. Let me quickly start with a problem. You, me, all of us, we shop online, so we can really put ourselves into the shoes of a consumer. And when I look into the e-commerce ecosystem, we see 2 major problems. The first one is a collaboration problem, and the second one is a software problem. And let me start with a collaboration problem. When I look into the ecosystem, there are 3 major stakeholders, which you see here now to be the consumers, the e-commerce shops, and the warehouses. The consumers are the ones that shop online. The e-commerce shops are the ones that sell online. The warehouses are the ones that take care of the fulfillment, so the picking and the packing. And then at the top, you also see the truck, which basically stands for the last mile. So carriers such as DHL, UPS, DPD. And I want to put your focus, or move your focus towards the 3 of them, because we really believe that the collaboration between these stakeholders is broken, because consumers still have to communicate very manually with these e-commerce shops, sending emails. Where's my parcel? Can I change an order? Can I add an item? When do I get my money back? Can I return something? And this causes a lot of operational costs. E-commerce shops also have to communicate manually to the warehouse. Did the goods arrive? Did the parcels go out? Can I still add an item to the parcel? And this leads to very, very high customer support costs. And the biggest problem is that there's no direct connection between the consumers and the warehouses. Whereas that is already the market standard. When we think of how do we shop at Amazon, how do we shop at Zalando, at About You, we have an app. I can sit on my couch Saturday evening, 11 p.m., and whatever I want to do, I can self-service myself in the Amazon app. I don't have to write an email. I don't need to wait for a response. And that is something that is not available in the direct-to-consumer world. And that is the big collaboration problem that we see. The second problem is in the e-commerce enablement world around it. Yeah, because as you see, there are so many decoupled standalone solutions that serve use cases such as tracking or return management or ERPs or warehouse management systems, email marketing, ticketing, and so on and so on. Yeah, so e-commerce shops as well as warehouses, they end up with that bouquet of flowers of different SaaS standalone providers that not really integrate well with each other. And we at Alaiko, we are solving that by putting these three stakeholders onto one automated platform. Yeah, so we have been building software that is consumer-facing, software that is shop-facing, and software that is warehouse-facing. And by doing so, automating all of the interactions that happen between these providers. I will quickly flip through the next slide so you just see how it looks like. Yeah, so the consumer-facing software is all about self-service functionalities. Yeah, so change an address, see where your parcel is, return something easily, get a QR code to your phone. You don't have to print anything. It's really seamless. The shop-facing software is your operating system. It's the single source of truth that an e-commerce shop needs in order to steer the whole supply chain. And then last but not least, there's warehouse-facing software, which is basically bringing iPhone functionality to a warehouse, yeah, because warehouse-facing software, as of today, really looks like Windows 98. And all of that combined is really powerful. And I want to present that power by quickly going through a case study of returns. Everybody here has returned an item before, and as soon as the ecosystem of warehouses, shops, and consumers is running on Alaiko, we enable you to be seamlessly selecting return reasons, getting a QR code to your phone. As soon as that return travels to the warehouse, we are aware of it, the warehouse is aware of it. The person that unpacks your parcel already sees your return reason and is much quicker in handling that return. As soon as that return has been handled and the handle that I use in the warehouse goes beep, that data point can be used to fully automatically trigger your refund, so you don't have to wait for your money anymore. Yeah? And I think that is a very good example of how we automate and help the whole ecosystem. And last but not least, and that's my last slide, what is so interesting about the company and why it fascinates me as a founder so much is that for the last 3.5 years, we have been developing that software for our own ecosystem. Yeah, and we have been using it to scale as a fulfillment provider. And when I now look into the future, and we started that 6 months ago, we started selling this software to warehouses out there that we don't work with, that we don't partner with. Yeah? So we've really gone from operationally heavy fulfillment to full software in under 6 months. I think the best proof indicator here is that the software revenue that we built up over 3.5 years, we have doubled in 6 months. I mean, the whole world talks about software. Yeah, so it's been a pretty easy decision, yeah, taking the company from a 20% contribution margin now to a 70% contribution margin, ending up at 90% by mid next year. And yeah, and that is something that we are out in the market for as of early next year. Yeah, in case you're interested in speaking to us, feel free to reach out anytime. And I'm also very happy just to talk to other founders about the transformation, because you can imagine turning an ops-heavy business into a pure software company comes with quite a few burdens. I'm very happy to share these learnings as well. Thank you for your attention, and that's it.